You and I till the end, don't need to pretend. Again and again, we'll stick together. Welcome to the fourth and final week of the Joanne Stitch Along, and I'm your host Mikey. This is the Geometry Lessons Crochet Blanket, and in this week we got a lot of activity happening. So when we did the arrows the first time, when we looked at our sample that we have, you're noticing that your arrows are going in this direction. Arrows 2 is going to be in the opposite direction from what we did, and it's still the same stitch work to go down. So we still know how to do a waterfall 5 double crochet. So we're going to be doing that. After we get that done, we're going to be advancing back, and you're going to go back to week number 1 of the video series if you need the video, and you're going to be doing the checks all over again. So you're going to be doing this all over again, so we'll be covering that as well, and we're also going to be covering the final border. So we're going to get ourselves started, and we're going to start arrows number 2. Remember that we have the crochet diagrams ready for you in order to follow, so we're going to create those spaces, we're going to fill that in and carry on. So I'm going to be building on to a different sample. In order to go, you're just going to continue to build your afghan on top of what you already have, and that's where we're going to start next. So you grab your same size crochet hook, a 5mm size H, and we're going to begin with our week number 4 next. In week number 4 we're going to start with our spacing right here. So we've already had the single crochet done from the last week. So we're going to just start at number 1, and we're going to be creating these spaces just like we did before. So I don't need to be as slow to show you how to do this exactly. What I can just do is just abbreviate it for you, because in actual fact you know how to do this already. So we're going to start, we're going to create our first part of the double crochets, chain 3, skip 3, and then just work in sequence all the way to the end, and we're going to be creating this, and then waterfall number 5 will come in on the 5th row to come all the way down on the angle just like we already know. So let's begin the first row. So let's begin row number 1. You should be using the color B to do this, so not the main color like we had started before when we did these arrows. So I actually just filmed the whole thing realizing that I did my colors backwards, so I'm refilming. So what I have here is that B has already been attached here for me, but you make sure that you are fastening off and start fresh with the color B. So as you begin number 1, you are going to chain 3, and that will count as your double crochet, and you will double crochet the next 2 in a row. So you're going to chain 3, and you were going to double crochet the next 4 in a row. So starting in the next one, so let's count those out together. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we're now going to create those spaces like we used to do it before. So you're going to chain 3, and you're going to skip 3, and you'll double crochet in the next 3, and you're going to repeat that same idea going all the way across. So chain 3, skip 3, and double crochet the next 3, and please repeat that, and I'll see you at the end of number 1 in a moment. As you come all the way across, you're just maintaining the pattern as you know it, so skipping 3, and then you'll double crochet into the final 3 for row number 1. When we're done that, let's turn our work and begin number 2 in a moment. So row number 2, we're going to start the lean action that will happen, and then it will be very easy to tell. And so you're going to chain 3 right where you are, and you're going to double crochet these 2 for sure. And what I need you to do is that I need you to double crochet into the very next stitch. This is the chain, right? So go right into the chain itself, don't go into a space, so that it will hold it nice and into position. You'll chain 3, you'll skip those 2 chain and the next double crochet because that equals 3, and then you'll double crochet in the next double crochet after it. So 1, 2, and 3 includes the chain 1 space, one of the chains is the first one, and you'll repeat that all the way across. So chain 3, skip the next 2 chain and the double, and then start on the next one after that. Please do this across for row number 2. As you make your way across, you're just gonna be less stitches on the end. There will be 1 less, so there's only gonna be 4, and make sure that when you see these turning chains, you have to make sure you go into the top of the chain, never into a space. And let's turn our work and do row number 3. In row number 3 we want to keep the lean going in the same direction, so we're going to keep it going. So you're going to chain 3 and you'll double crochet in the next 2. So we want to end 1 double crochet early to keep that lean moving. So chain 3, skip that double crochet and the first 2 chains and come to the 3rd chain and place in a double crochet, and then the next 2 double crochets. So you're still keeping your 3s aligned with each other. Okay, chain 3, skip the next double crochet and the chain and 2 of the chains, go into the 3rd chain and do that one plus the next 2 stitches in a row. This is row number 3 and I'll be right back in a moment at the end of the row. At the end of row number 3 you're just this double crochet and the first 2 chains you're gonna skip, so you come to the 3rd chain, and once you do that at the end just fill in the rest of it to be double crochet right to the edge. And don't forget about that turning chain. Okay, so let's turn our work and do row number 4. Let's do number 4. We're gonna continue the lean one more time because we need to create one more space. So you're gonna chain 3 and you'll double crochet the remaining double crochets that you can see. And like before, we need to use the first chain to keep that lean moving. So use the first chain for a double crochet and then chain 3 and start skipping. So 1, 2, 3. So skip the next 2 chains and the double crochet, start in the next double crochet after it. So 1, 2 and 3, and then chain 3, these 2 chains and the next. You're gonna skip and then go across and double crochet again. So just maintain what you already know, and I'll see you at the end of this row. This is row number 4. So I'm coming up closer to the end of number 4, and we're going to be changing our color at the end of this back to the main color. So 1, 2, 3, skip 2 chains and 1 double crochet, and the final 2 are double crochet each. So let's get rid of this color. We already showed you how to change it in previous videos, so just change it out and then turn your work, and we're gonna get ready then for row number 5, which will be the waterfall straight on down. So in row number 5 what we're going to do is we're gonna chain up 1 with the new color and do the single crochets on top of the double crochets that you have, and when there's a space we're gonna do the waterfall number 5 going all the way back down here. So we're gonna be doing that. We've already shown you this waterfall number 5 now twice in this tutorial series. I'll just demonstrate it once with you, but chances are you already know how to do it at this point, hopefully. And you'll want to switch back to your longer crochet hook in order to make that happen if it's easier for you as well. So let's begin number 5. So we're going to begin row number 5 and switch back to your larger hook. It's easier. And I want you to come in. So when we finished we were here, so we turned it already, and then you're just gonna come into the first one. If you put it onto the hook right away, you can go right into the first stitch, and this is called a standing single. And if you prefer to join it then chain 1 and then single, you can do that as well. It's your call. You're the creator after all. So we've already covered on how to do standing single already in this series. So you're just going to come across, and then each double crochet in the top is going to get a single crochet. So it's just these chain 3 spaces that we need to worry about. You may want to secure that in with a tapestry needle. I just cut it because it's a tutorial, but you may want to do that. So we're gonna come down. This is waterfall number 5. I've already shown you before on how to do this stitch, so you just have to continue just to do what you know. And this time the angle is different the first time that we're doing it, but it's still the same information. So you're just going down and attaching it to the first stitch. The key, as we talked about before, is to keep it organized on the back of the hook as you come all the way back to the top. So I find if I rush this stitch I drop loops, but if you just take your time and enjoy the stitching journey, it's a lot easier. Okay, so you're gonna do that, and so you'll do 3 of those, and then you'll do your singles on the top, so these doubles and etc. So please go all the way across for row number 5, and I'll see you back here in a moment. So I've now come all the way across in number 5. I can switch my hook back to my ergonomic to make it easier for myself, and let's turn our work and do row number 6. Row number 6, you're going to chain up 1 and you are going to apply 1 single crochet in every stitch across. This helps maintain the balance of the floating waterfalls to be able to space them out perfectly, and you'll do this all the way across. So 1 single crochet in each stitch across. I'll be right back. I'm at the end of number 6 going right to the edge, and then I'm gonna turn my work and we're going to begin row number 7. So 7, 8, 9 and 10 are back to making the spaces. You can see the direction of the arrowing that we're gonna go, so we've got to make sure that the spaces kind of favor the opposite direction when it comes up, and if you're maintaining the counts it's fine. Let's begin row number 7. Back to the diagram we go. We're gonna start number 7 and the lean is gonna go in the opposite direction this time, and we still have our 4 rows to create the spacing, and then what we see here is row number 11, which is going to be the waterfall coming down, and then the next row after that will be single crochet. So let's do this section now, and starting with row number 7. In row number 7 you're going to chain up 3, counts as your first double, and then you'll double crochet in the next one. So let's start creating our spaces. So chain 3, skipping 3, and then double crochet in the next 3, and you're gonna maintain that all the way across just like you've done it before to create these spaces. So chain 3, skip 3, and then go into the 4th one away, do that one plus 2 more, which gives you 3. Do this across for row number 7. I'll be right back. In going all the way across you can actually see where the chevrons are, the arrows are. So when you jump the final one here, the remaining 6 that are left will each be a double crochet at the end of number 7. So let's turn our work and begin row number 8. In row number 8 we want to maintain, we can see the direction of which we need to go into, which helps us to see, and you're going to chain 3 and you'll double crochet all of them but the final one here. So we want to just do the next 4 in a row. So we have 1, 2, 3 and 4, and if you're watching the spaces you don't have to excessively count. So you got that one plus the 2 chains, so just chain 3, so skip that one in the 2 chains and come right into the 3rd chain itself. Do that one plus the next 2 double crochets that you have so that the space can move over. Chain 3, skip the next one and the next 2 chains, double crochet in the 3rd chain away, plus the next 2 double crochet, and I need you to do that across for row number 8, and I'll see you at the end of the row. At the end of the 8th row you're just gonna maintain the stitches that you know it, and this time you'll have that 3rd chain that you need to go into to keep that spacing moving, and then the last 2 double crochet to go in. Make sure the turning chain at the top has it right into the turning chain itself. Let's turn our work and begin number 9. In number 9 we can even see the direction now, and so we're gonna continue, and you'll chain up 3, you'll double crochet in the first 2 stitches, and then you'll add the next chain into that as well so that you can move the spacing over by 1. So chain 3, skip the next 2 chain and this double crochet, and then come to the 4th stitch away, okay, which is the middle one. So do that one, the next one, and the next chain 1 space, and I need you to maintain this over, and this is row number 9. So 1, 2, 3, skip 2 chains, the next double, and go to the 4th stitch away. Please do this. I'll see you at the end of this row number 9. I'm maintaining the leaning of the spaces, so after I get that last space in I just continue to go all the way to the end, and on this row here number 9 there will be 4 double crochets left in the edge. And let's turn our work and do the last spacing that we need before starting the waterfall. Let's begin row number 10. So just chain up 3 and double crochet in the first 2, and we need to create that leaning one more time, so just chain 3, skip the first double and the next 2 chains, come to the 3rd chain, double crochet in, and then do the next 2. Chain 3, skip the next one and the next 2 chains, come into the 3rd one to do that one plus the next 2. So do this all the way across for row number 10, and I'll be right back in a moment. Coming all the way back across here on row number 10, and the last 5 are just double crochet in maintaining the spacing. So I need you to get rid of this color, and we're only gonna do the next color just for 2 rows, and then we're switching back to the main color. This is what caused me to refilm. I kind of misunderstood the instruction because I didn't read it properly. Happens to everybody, so you know, it is what it is. So let's fasten that off. I'd probably use a tapestry needle just to hide in the ends back and forth. It's better. For tutorial reasons I'm just gonna keep on moving. Let's move on now to row number 11. So let's continue, and I am going to start, and where I finished off was right here. So I've already turned it to get ready, and we're going to be maintaining this. So the tops of these double crochets are all single crochet. So I'm gonna start with a standing single, and if you prefer the other way as written, then do that, that's fine. And so you're gonna just single crochet in the tops of your doubles, and then when there is the chain 3 space, you're going to do your waterfall number 5 down like you did before. I find when I rush this, you see I'm not used to a non-ergonomic hook, but it is what it is, right? So I only use it when I absolutely must. So you're just gonna do your waterfall 5 going down, and you'll attach, and then you'll do those 3, and then you'll singles on the top, and it's essentially what you know. The difference is that it's just gonna go down on a different angle, but you're just gonna follow the spacing down. So I need you to do this for row number 11, and I'll be right back in a moment. I'm coming all the way across on row number 11, and once I'm over here I'm going to switch my hook back to my ergonomic, and then we're going to begin number 12, and then we're going to be ending this color. So we're gonna turn our work and begin number 12. To begin number 12, you're just gonna chain up 1 and apply 1 single crochet in each stitch across, and as I mentioned before when we did this, this helps space those waterfall stitches out, and we will be changing our color at the end of number 12 and starting with something new. So let's begin to do that, and I'll see you at the end of this row in a moment. So I'm coming to the end of number 12, and I want to eliminate out this color and go back to my main color, and we're gonna do that. And let's get that started and fasten off. You can weave in your ends, and we are going to start with row number 13 in a moment. Row number 13, 14, 15 and 16 is what we already know. It's the actual large swath of the main color that has been provided. We had another sample like when we did before. So we're just going to start with the very first one, and when we go to start we're just going to join it and then chain 3 and then apply 1 double crochet in each stitch all the way across. So please do this for row number 13, and I'll be right back in a moment. I'm coming close to the end of number 13, and when we get there we're just going to immediately just turn and start row number 14 next. Let's do that. Row number 14, you're just gonna chain up 1 and just 1 single crochet into each stitch all the way across, and I'll see you at the end of number 14 in a moment. Okay, I'm at the end of number 14. Let's turn and work and do 15 and 16, and it's the same as the last 2 rows. So number what do we have, number 15, we're going to chain 3, and you'll just 1 double crochet in each stitch all the way across, and that's just number 15, and I'll see you at the end of the row in a moment. I'm at the end of row number 15, so I'm just gonna turn my work and begin number 16. Let's begin row number 16. You're just gonna chain up 1 and apply 1 single crochet in each stitch all the way across. I was doing a 2 together there because I was looking at the instructions. So I'll be single crocheting all the way across, and then when we get there we're going to carry on in the tutorial, but I'm going to be redirecting you back to video week number 1, and we're going to be doing that next. So just single crochet across, and then we'll talk about what we're gonna be up to next. Okay, so I'm finally here at the end of number 16. So right now I want to flip in the instruction because now we need to continue to go back to what we already know, and we're gonna be starting back on the right side, and you're gonna go back to week number 1. So let's talk about what we're gonna do, and we're gonna move along in the instruction. So here in the instructions it says to proceed to the check pattern as follows, and this is back to week number 1 where we create this. But what we have to do is we have to do one set of instruction first, and then we're going to work double asterisk to the double asterisk as given for the checks in week number 1 on page number 2, and then repeat the 5th to 11 rows once more, then fasten off, and then that's it for your particular idea. So what I'm going to do is show you this first row, and then you can go back. If you're watching this on YouTube, I have a playlist that I've linked in the video description that all of the videos are grouped together so that you can go back, and this here, when we go to look at this, the double asterisk on week number 1 is currently right here on the second row here. So this is where you would want to go when you go back to that video. You can just fast forward to the second row and complete the instructions as it's stating. So the double asterisk, and then where is the double asterisk when it shows it again? We're just looking for that information, and we'll just continue to look, and it's right here at the end of the 11th and 12th rows. So it says to do the double asterisk. Remember what it said? It said do the double asterisk as given for week 1, and then repeat the 5th and 2 11th rows one more time. So you repeat the 5th to the 11th row one more time, and then that's where you're going to finish. So let me show you the first row here so that you can get started to go back into week number 1. So let's get ourselves started on the first row before you go back to the first video. You're going to just chain 3, and you're going to double crochet into the next 4 stitches. You already know what to do. It's just you have to get yourself started in order to do that. And remember that the checkered boxes were made up of spaces of 5. So the chain 3 and this 4 equals a total of 5. You're then going to chain 5, skip 5, 1 2 3 4 5, and then you're going to go into the next 5 after that, and you're going to do that all the way to the edge. And so what I'm going to do is that I'm going to expect you to do that, and you can get yourself to the other side. I'm just going to show you the original sample that we did in order to show you how that's going to end on the other side. So all my swatches are a different size. So what we're doing is that we're creating the spacing that you have here, and you're just going to repeat it so that you will end up with 5 double crochets on the very edge on the other side, and then therefore on row number 2, which is right here, is where you're going to pick up, and you're essentially just recreating this on the opposite side of the blanket, and it's really quite neat. So just get that done all the way across, and then turn your work, and I'm going to have you go back to video week number 1. But what I'm going to do next is that I'm just going to quickly show you how to do the edging for where you're ready. So you'll have to come back here for the edging week number 4. So I will put that here next. When you're ready for the edging, I'm just going to use this swatch as an example. You're going to start in this side here, and you were going to chain up 1, and you were going to apply 1 single crochet in each stitch on the top and the bottom, because you can easily see it, and then you're just going to evenly space out your single crochets along the edge. You have to keep in mind that the corners are going to have 3 single crochets in it so that you can turn it. So you just apply 1 2 and 3, so that corner would be technically done, and then you move on here. So you just continue to go. Make sure the right side is facing up, and what I want to do is that when I hit the next corner, I'm just going to show you how to equally space, and it's just a rough guess, and there is no stitch counting that requires you to have a certain amount in order to form a pattern. So equally spacing works out really quite nicely. So let's turn our work at the next corner in a second. When you get to the last stitch across, just put 3 into the last one and just turn your work, and now you're going to go equally down. My recommendation is that when you equally space, stay within some chain work. If you jump into a major space, it creates that space to be completely open. So if you go and just grab the stitch work, and you're just gonna equally put it into position. So if the blanket is pulling like this way, like into the stitch work itself, it means that you're jumping too quickly and it's trying to pull it to match you. And if it's starting to ruffle out, that means that you're going too slow. So you just have to just maintain it in order to go down. When you get to the bottom, you'll chain your 3, or so you'll single crochet your 3, then work across your bottom, and then come up the other side. And it should look pretty even. So what I like to do is look at the distance of these stitches here and kind of make it very close to the same look on the edges, and therefore it should be okay. So go all the way around, just equally spacing it on the edges and in each stitch on the upper and the bottom side, and I'll be back in a moment. When you get back around, you're just gonna equally space coming up the other side. I'm just doing an abbreviated version of this, so that's why some of it's not done. So I'm going to then slip stitch to the first single crochet, and that should make the corner look really good. So now we're gonna do something really unique that I've never seen done before, and this is round number 2 and the final round. I'm about to show you a technique that I've never seen done before, so let's bear with me and let's try it. So it's cool, learn new things, right? So you're going to chain up 1, and you were gonna go into the same space that you're currently in, and you were going to draw through a loop. It's now saying to rotate the hook towards you, so rotate your hook towards you and back around, and then yarning over, pulling it through 2 loops. Huh, that's neat, eh? So now you're gonna go into the next one. So going in, pull through, and then you're going to rotate it towards you. Just provide a little bit of slack because it's easier, and then yarn over, pull through the 2. This is like a reverse single crochet without going in the reverse. So going in, pull through, rotate, and pull through. About time somebody thought of that. Oh, I love learning something new. It's awesome. So we're going to do that all the way around, and that's 1 into each stitch. It may take getting used to. As you can see, it's my first time doing it live on camera, because God forbid I actually try to practice before I do this live on camera, but it's a unique perspective to see me learning in real time, right? You can see the hamster burning at the wheel. So you'll do that all the way around, and this is awesome. And then when you get back to the end here, you'll slip stitch to the first one that you did that with. You may want to just practice that. I can see that I'm very inconsistent, so just pull through and just kind of work it out in your head on how that's gonna work out. And if you really don't enjoy that, you can just single crochet around too. It's up to you on how you want to do that, but this is ultimately how this blanket is finished, and it's always good to learn new things, right? And I just need a little bit more practice with this, and I think it's pretty unique. So let's just conclude this video for today, and I'm your host Mikey, and this has been the Joanne Stitch Along. Really a unique concept. I am sure I'm filming this several weeks in advance, but I am sure the work in progress for this has been absolutely spectacular. I'm sure I'm gonna be blown away, so I'm really quite excited with you. So this has been a presentation for Joanne. I'm your host Mikey of the Crochet Crowd. We hope that you enjoyed all of this. It's been a really unique thing. When I saw this for the first time, I'm like, what is this? And I originally thought it was afghan work, which I was like, oh my. And then I realized that I learned something new with the waterfall stitching, which really excited me. So I think this is going to be trending, this kind of concept, because use Yarn Inspirations is thinking ahead. So I think we'll probably see these waterfall stitches in the future at some point, and I think it's an amazing idea. So on behalf of my friends at joanne.com, please show your creativity on our social media using hashtags of Handmade with Joanne as well as the Crochet Crowd, and we'll see you again next time. Bye bye.